We're still talking women in the marketplaces, and you're watching The Point. This is Smart24 TV, where we drive your business. And I'm with two very interesting ladies here that you want to know more about later on as we close the show, because you don't want to miss what they're doing in their lives. It's something you want to be a part of. But we've talked mainly the women in the marketplaces. The infrastructure has been provided, but yet it hasn't that much in line with what the needs of the vendors are at the moment. But also, there have been other challenges that women have faced, and especially in as far as skilling is concerned. And Miss Maureen here, under the Institute for Social Transformation, you've done a lot of work, I understand, with the women and skilling them and trying to see that you impart these skills in them, financial literacy and business management skills and so on, so that you empower these women. Tell us about the journey of skilling women. First of all, why is it important for us not to have this traditional vendor who just knows, okay, this is 10,000, and when I need 7,000, I need to subtract this and this. Why isn't it in this current age and day just enough to know how to count money, how to exchange money in the world of business?
Okay. Thank you, Anthony. This is interesting. But what we have to appreciate is that when women are economically empowered, we are all empowered, because businesses will run smoothly, the communities will thrive, and the entire economy will be thriving. So we have to appreciate that angle. But we know that women have limits, limits in terms of skills. With skills, of course, in education, because most of them, the women that we have been dealing with, they haven't had formal education. They are so inadequate there. And you know that most times you just find your way of surviving, so you get into the market. But when you really don't have, the business acumen, so you need somebody to push you and get you there. And like I said, yeah, hand to mouth. That was like the bigger picture that they had as they entered the market. And from those assessments that we had, we realized that most of the women are not educated. And then that means, how do we support them in managing their businesses smoothly and profitably? So we had now to build our model of building their business and financial literacy, because it's not all about counting money, like you've said. You come to business and say, yes, exchange and exchange, but you want this money to grow. So how do you make it grow? So you need these skills that are going to, to get you there, the soft skills of customer care, because, like the women said, they are doing so much of bewitching each other, thinking this one is bewitching me because I'm not selling. But it's because of my customer care skills that customers are coming to me. But my neighbor might think I'm using witchcraft for her not to sell. So we needed to now push them to advance, get the skills, business and financial literacy, customer care, records keeping. You have to look at, what am I bringing in? And how is it moving out? Which losses? How do I, try to ensure that I'm not making losses? How do I control on my spending? Because the stories, now I'm giving the stories of these women. I tell you, for us when we are here, as long as I have my money in my pocket, if Mutembe comes, these hawkers, there is a nice shoe, I have money, please, you buy. Please, this one. This one's who roast meat, this one, the whatever of meat, she'll be buying to eat. But then she's eating the capital. So records keeping is very key in the business, but also saving for investment and growing the business. Because this is a culture somebody needs to inculcate to ensure that I can grow my business, but also visioning for the business. Because if you have a business and you don't have a goal, you're going to stay minute, but we want you to grow. So how? These are all encompassed in the business and financial literacy skills that we are giving the women. And at least we have women who are able to testify to this, that they have moved, they are able to manage their records. So that is where we want, and that is what we have been able to do in that line of business and financial literacy. But again, we want these women also to participate in leadership with skills they don't have, because these are all results coming from the research. And they're saying, okay, they don't have the skills. And even when we talk to the leaders, they said women, they have low self-esteem. Others feel because we are being nurtured, men are supposed to speak for us. For us, we are supposed to sit back and let the men lead. But it's their right. Say, okay, so what do we need? We need to build their capacity for them to be able to participate. Because if you have a woman who understands your issues very well, she will be able to present on the panels. These are the issues that are affecting the women. She will be able to represent them well. So we had now to engage, train the women in transformational leadership, because this leadership is for the growth of everybody, sustainable leadership, for continuity. And the leadership only doesn't encompass only in the markets, but they are leading even beyond the markets. And that's what we want to see, leadership beyond the market. And this is what we are witnessing. And others are coming actually to vie in for leadership in the political arenas, which is good. Because it means that we have played a very big part to ensure that women are there to view them so that, yes, we are here, this is our space.
Ms. Kadri would be a good example.
Yeah, she's here.
Yes.
She's in the leadership. She will give her story. Yeah, leadership comes with challenges, conflict management. How do you handle conflict as a leader when they arise? So these are some of the things that we take them through, but also giving room to nurture other leaders, mentorship, that we bring other women who are already there in big businesses to come and talk to these women, to show them the journey, that this is what you have to do, but also working as a team. So we do cooperative trainings to ensure that women can embrace, but also understand what cooperatives are and how can they gain through them. Because we are talking about access to finance, whereby even the government doesn't have enough finances to cover for everybody. So how do we as market women in this community mobilize our resources to advance our agenda? So we have pushed that, giving them platforms to voice, because we wanted them to voice, to speak for themselves. It's not IST. IST has played this role, then it's up to you to push your agenda of some of the issues that affect you, because you understand them better than anybody. So we do cooperative training and formation, and the number of cooperatives that have been formed in all the markets that we have worked with across Uganda. So we celebrate that. The other is on the issue of
the vocational skilling.
The skilling, because we noticed that most of these women, we ask them, so if it wasn't the market, where would you be? What would you have wished? And, you know, me, I want to make shoes. I want to learn how to make shoes. And we have trained them indeed in how to make shoes. And they're making quality shoes, good shoes. So, skilling. Liquid soap making. I think we have seen during COVID, people needed to wash their hands. We needed soap.
Yes.
And these women now have the skills. But they have a joint business ventures through those cooperatives that they're using now to ensure that they can make ends meet, but also grow the cooperative saving, because they have to have a joint solid business that will bring in more money for them. So skilling in line with that side. Others are doing art and craft, and they're very creative. So we are trying to push access to markets, skill them on how do they market, how do they brand their products. Because it all comes around how you play around with the thing, but also marketing. That is the biggest problem. People just sit on their stalls, they are waiting for clients to come, and some clients are not coming.
So I think I've seen, like the people who sell fashion goods, I've seen nowadays, you know, the way they are packaged in supermarkets, in those nets, they look pretty more attractive than, you know, just appearing.
You know, yes.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing, you know, you go to a market, people are putting things on the floor.
On the floor, yes.
Yeah. So we are talking about hygiene. How do you provide, you know, good products that are not on the floor? When I come to the market, I'm able to say, oh, I'm not saying, oh my God, these things are dirty. So access to market through using technology, like I've already shared about the market garden application. We are pushing them to appreciate technology, because this is where the world is heading. And before, they were all over. We are waiting for clients. But here is virtual customer care. How do you deal with a virtual client who is not coming? Because we are used, you know, to the old way of doing things. The analog style of coming and I'm bargaining, salirako, you know, all those. And then even giving you some rotten things. So we have, like, it's a serious skilling. Yeah. How do you handle a virtual client that you're not going to cheat this person, even if she does not come to the space to bargain with you? So those are some of the things. But we also handle skilling them on how to handle GBV, because gender-based violence is around them. But how do we handle setting up structures in the market that are handling some of these cases that arise? Yes, but also the leaders, skilling the leaders themselves within the markets on how to handle GBV issues, but also skilling them in leadership, because we have noticed that most of the leaders are not educated. They have no formal training in regards to leadership, but they are here governing people. So that is what.
Well, that's very insightful.
Also, they introduced adult education literacy, where a majority of these women could not read and write, and they were cheated. Most of them would give some people money to go and bank for them. Someone to go to check the balance, the money is not there. So they were cheated in many ways. But after ISC introducing adult education, these women have been trained, and at least majority of them can at least read, and others can write. But also we also encourage them that if you're to go and acquire a loan, maybe from a money lender, do not just sign something that you do not understand. Tell that money lender to read that form, that loan application form. If that person refuses, don't get a loan from there, because you're going to be cheated. And they will always tell them, give us security. And the security they want is the store or the shop. And at the end of the day, it is taken away and sold off. So at least with this introduction of the adult literacy, people have been trained, they've at least picked, and they know how
that's what I was about to actually ask you, because you are lucky that you're among people who have a degree at least, and now are even in a leadership position. But there are women out there who have never gone to school, and they are struggling to read and write, like you mentioned. But that really definitely answers the question. But then also embracing, how have the women embraced these other vocational trainings? She has talked about the skilling, for example, in kneading and getting liquid soap made and so on. Have they turned them into profitable businesses? Because learning could be one thing, but then how do you transform that into another source of income? Because that also leads to diversification. Like she mentioned, what else can they do in case the market is closed, in case COVID returns? So are they turning them into businesses?
True, they are turning them into businesses. For example, the people who are making shoes. Right now, they are making shoes for back to school, and people are really buying them. When it comes to us who are making liquid soap, we make liquid soap, we sell it at the market area.
In the market stores themselves. Okay.
Even where we stay, at home, yes. Like me, I have some neighbors of mine. I will always tell them, please, I have liquid soap. Can you please buy from me? And they buy. Yes. They've really taken it as a serious venture. Yes.
Wow, very
Thank you. Maybe, Anthony, before you go to another question, I know you're coming in with another question, but I just wanted to bring out the area in functional literacy. We held the first ever graduation for market women.
Wow.
In functional adult literacy. That had never happened. And the pride these women felt. They were like, oh my God, this is my first graduation gown in my house. Can you imagine that? Some of the things we take them lightly, but there is a way they lifted them and they gave them this other different face value. So for me, I think this is the way to continue. If other people are there who are willing to come in and support in line with this functional adult literacy, women are willing to learn. Because they are educating their own. Because the question I was asking them, how come you're paying so much money for your child to go and study, but you cannot take that to pay for yourself also to learn something? You see, that there is also this habit of us wanting free things for people to come and give us free things, and we don't want to invest. So I think we need to change that mindset of saying we can invest in ourselves, because this is the message we take out there. When IST is not around, when other organizations are not around, what happens to you? Do you collapse? So these cooperatives are trying now to push the agenda that even when we exit, the work should continue. The methodologies should continue. But the other is also in line with access to health. Because there is a study that we conducted in line with access to health for market women. Because we realize that market women don't leave their stalls. When I'm sick, the business also falls sick. And by the time she says she's sick, she's really sick. and it's beyond. And the pharmacies have become their doctors. Self-medication. It is rampant in markets. I have a headache. Panadol. Give me Panadol. Panadol. Always Panadol. And you're not getting the underlying cause. So we are now getting the technology into the space with our partners to ensure that women can access,
healthcare.
Yes, on their phones, those who have smartphones. But even beyond the whatever, we are going to find a way of how to encourage women, have daily reviews or monthly reviews in regards to their health. Because we have seen those who have been amputated because of diabetes, but because it was too late, and they're like, I didn't know I had diabetes. So some of those elements affecting women, and so we are trying to see that this integrated model that IST uses to engage with the market women is taken on, but
well, it looks like you have a whole package, because you're looking at the psychological bits, the gender-based violence, the financial bits, and then now the healthcare. I think this is a pretty good idea here. Now let's look at the media side. Market women tend to be apprehensive of media. They don't like media a lot, and this, I think, in my opinion, puts them in a very bad position, because media gets you to the light. Media gets you to know, okay, Wandagea market doesn't have toilets that are working. Okay, the Busia market doesn't have functional washrooms. What are you doing about the sensitivity to media, especially amongst the market women?
Anthony, we have really moved the journey with market women, and these are some of the areas that we focus on. And one is media engagement, market women and media engagement, because we notice that if we don't move with the media, some elements are going to be left out. The media is the voice to the issues on the ground. And before we started, actually, because when we are training, we have a methodology, mock-up sessions of women engaging with media. And really, they're like, no, we don't want those media people. They just come to look at the bad side of the market. It's what they're going to report. They don't want to report nice things. And he said, no, let us position ourselves. The media is not our enemy, but how do we play around and give them the real deal of the issues? So we empower women on how to engage with the media. And we have sessions where they participate with the media, just interacting with the editors, and just to have that space and to make them feel calm. And at least for the so many years we have worked together, women are participating with the media. I go with my women on TV. I think Kathy is here. She comes on TV. Other TVs that are in Uganda speaking, that are friendly to local languages, those programs, they come and speak. Very powerful women. And the media is no longer a challenge to them because they know media will support them. I'll give an example for Kalere. There is a period they were chasing the children from the market. Nursing mothers, we don't want your children in the market. And it was really hot. And these women said, no, you're not going to chase our children. First set of space. And they called the media. And they went even on TV. And they were talking about the issues. And indeed, for me, I appreciate the media. We're doing great with the media. The media is not our enemy, and it's not an enemy to the market.
Interesting. Yes,
like when the president was like, they were stopping the management committees of the markets. When they came to Naka market, the ED came, but we were in position to air out her position. We told her, please, we still need a chairperson. We wanted them. They've not done anything. Stop mixing all markets. All markets are not the same. What is happening in Aka market is not the same as in what? Owino or Nakasero. And at least media did a great role. And the chairperson is still working up today. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. So they have actually started embracing media.
Yes.
Very interesting. How about the digital media? There's this media, mainstream media, but then the digital media, because I understand you introduced the Market Garden app. Have they as well embraced that with the smartphones and so on?
Yes, they've done, and they are advertising the products on Facebook, WhatsApp.
Yeah, because
they've embraced it.
We trained these women on how to use these, the smartphones, how to do, searches, how to post on Facebook, because this was not their thing. But now they are gurus. They have Twitter handles. You know, especially those who are learned. They really know how to use it. So this is where we're heading. So we are skilling them.
Very interesting. And talking about land, I mean, we have Catherine here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she could be getting a second degree soon, and she's in a leadership position. Definitely, we expect a lot of impact.
And she's representing globally, by the way. Don't
Wow.
look at this face
Very
here,
domestic.
but yeah,
Okay.
she's represented on high panels.
Wow, we are coming back to talk about that briefly and we wind up the show. But we've had a very interesting conversation so far. Thank you, and thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still talking the market women, and we are returning with our final segment. Now, in our final segment, first of all, we want to address some of the problems like accessing finances and the problem of mindset change amongst the market women. And then as we wind up, we are going to give each of you an opportunity at least to share a little bit about your story and inspire the women out there who are watching. I see online we have a couple of them, and they're saying, yes, women should go and go strong. So probably your stories could inspire one or two people out there as well. This is The Point, and my name is Anthony. We are taking a very short break. We'll return with our final segment. Don't go anywhere.